So apparently all Champions League games from last night have just been ruled out.
Fair enough.
Hello and welcome to the Phil Shy podcast. I'm Peter Bell and with me as always the nice man in comedy, Paddy Linton.
Hello.
Yes, we're back. We had a week off just because we were very busy boys, I'm afraid, but we're back. How you been anyway, Paddy?
Good, mate. Got a new jumper.
Oh, aye.
Charity shop. 15 quid.
You don't need to say that anymore. I just assume if you come in with any new clothing, you got it from a charity
I
shop.
hate spending money in clothes, man. It's
Aye.
one of my things. I'm alright. I've just ate 12 chicken wings and 2 pints of Diet Dr. Pepper, so...
At any point,
Feel
Paddy
like
might
it.
need to go for a shit. That's always...
Hey, man. Hot sauce.
It's a good thing you're not going to be busy all night then, Paddy.
I know, aye. It's good. It's good. How you been?
Not too bad, man. Went down to Chorley.
Chorley FM.
Yeah, to do a wee gig on Saturday. That was quite fun. Got a gig with Alan Cochrane.
Who's that?
Oh, okay, you should know that as a British comedian, but he was on Mock the Week and stuff like that ages ago, but he's really good. He's
Class.
really good. Aye, it's a lot of fun.
Love your work, Alan.
Yeah. I don't think you'll watch this.
It's alright.
But it was really cool. Obviously got to open for Steve on Thursday as well, Steve Hofstadter.
At St. Luke's.
At St. Luke's, aye, that was quite a...
What's doing comedy like in St. Luke's? 'Cause it's a bit of a chapel, innit?
Very high ceilings. So if the audience aren't up for it, you're in a world of shit.
Yeah.
But they were all keen and it was a really good night. So aye, it was good. It was good.
Nice.
This is not interesting for the people that want to hear football chat, but you know...
We're catching up, man.
Exactly. Fuck yes. No, please don't stop watching and listening.
We need all 12 of you.
Hey, we do all right sometimes. We'll start with football news, and it's some big news this week. Argentina goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, seen here buggering the Copa America. Put a wee photo in.
Yeah.
He's been banned for 2 matches by FIFA for 2 seconds. What get this quote right? Offensive behaviour. This relates to 2 incidents, the aforementioned dicking down of one of the most coveted international tournaments in the world, and secondly, slapping a cameraman after his country's 2-1 defeat to Colombia. Now, my question for you is, Patrick, is this behaviour befitting of the greatest goalkeeper in the world?
Have you seen, like, why did they slap the cameraman?
I was just in a film.
Just raging. He is a bit
He's on a come
mental.
down.
He is a bit mental. I kind of love him.
Aye, I get it, aye.
Like, because he's nuts. Like,
Yeah.
Shagging trophies is class. Like, when he got the Golden Glove at the World Cup and then just immediately held it to his crotch and went, like a wee guy. Honestly.
And then after that, he said, it's the only thing I'm embarrassed about, the only thing I've ever been embarrassed about. And then wins the Copa America and just does it again. Like,
Yeah, it's his thing. Can't I wait to see him date with the Carabao Cup one day?
But if you don't know what the Copa America is, we probably should say it's
It's
their
quite a
equivalent.
phallic trophy, isn't it?
No, it's not
Is it
really. No.
No?
It's fucking massive, but it's their equivalent of the Euros,
Aye.
which Spain won this year. And so it's a massive deal. And he just shagged it. So there you go.
Would you think the best trophy would be like pretend it was a penis? UEFA Cup, aye, or Europa League?
World
modern.
Cup, maybe?
Oh, World Cup, aye. That's good. It's got a helmet. And everything.
Aye, exactly. There's a Football Ramble podcast with like, what's he going to do if he wins a Ballon d'Or? Like, that's going right up his... Like, it was Luke Moore that was like, is he putting Vaseline on the Ballon d'Or?
Yes, it's a big golden love egg.
But the most pertinent piece of information to come out of this, I did not know this. Emiliano isn't his first name. Do you know what it is?
What is it? Mark.
No. It's incredibly fitting, and you used to know a guy called it.
Demo.
Damien is his first name. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, his first name is Damien, which is fucking insane.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it explains why he deadlifts humans mid-match.
Was that Mopai, was it?
It was Neil Mopai. To be fair...
If you're going to pick anybody up and throw them about.
Yeah, I mean, I never feel sorry for it, and that happens to that man. It's incredibly harsh, but still. In other news, and by news I mean something I only discovered this week Googling funny football stories, but it happened in August last year. Former Rangers player and professional arsehole Ryan Kent made the headlines in Turkey when he posted an advert looking for someone to babysit his pet crocodile.
What?
Yeah.
His pet crocodile?
Yeah, that this advert supposedly said offered an astonishing salary and perhaps unsurprisingly for the job of crocodile sitter life insurance.
What? He's got a pet crocodile?
Apparently, yeah, he was
wacky.
advertising for it. But it got me down a rabbit hole of footballers with unusual pets.
But like, no wonder he had to go to Turkey to like keep up this pet crocodile.
I think he got it in Turkey. I don't
right.
think he took it over with him. You're not
right.
getting that through customs.
It's just as well as not getting taxed in his wages. Must spend a fortune on toothbrushes.
I'm not doing that job. Like, see if that's in the small print of the advert. You need to brush its teeth.
You need to brush its teeth, aye.
I don't think they're particularly asked about that because their teeth just fall out and they've got more teeth underneath them.
Mate, people should have signed waivers before they babysat me when I was a wee guy. Crocodiles.
That is true. That is true. So other footballers with unusual pets.
Right.
Mario Balotelli had a pig, but after setting fireworks off in his gaff, he now has crackling. He also has a dog and a falcon, which really is not surprising.
Oh, mate, I kind of love that.
It's textbook Balotelli.
I think it's just because I love him. He's funny.
He's just a nut job.
He's mental.
Like he's seen that Ryan Kent's got a crocodile. He's gone, fuck, why haven't I thought of that? They're not, I suppose, you're probably hard out to source in Italy. But former Southampton and Derby player Matt Oakley had a piranha collection, which, you know.
Piranhas are shite. They're shite pets. There was a boy I went to uni with that had a pet piranha.
One?
And I just won.
Well, aye, that would be
But
shite.
like, do you know how like in the cartoons, like I like a fucking, I don't know, a swan will go in the water and then it would just go bubbles and blood. I don't know. What did he eat?
So they're scavengers.
They eat the big guinea pig kings, didn't they?
No, it's mostly fish and stuff like that.
But like, so like, because of the cartoons, it was all like bubbles and chaos and blood and stuff, and then they'd pull out a skeleton.
Aye.
Like he dropped like some food in for it, and it just went up and like nibbled at it, and it was boring.
That's because it's one. Imagine there's like 50 of them doing that, they'll tear it to pieces. If it's just one.
Fair enough.
Aye.
He's getting no competition.
And
He's getting lazy.
aye, that's it. He's not put a graft in. He's getting signed for Man United next week. In
Spanish, like piranhas.
I mean, that sounds like a half decent winger.
Piranha.
Should say, by the way, they very rarely encounter swans because swans are not endemic to the.
Aye, but you're thinking about it too much now.
I like to be factual. It's called autism.
It's called autism, baby.
There were rumours that for some time that Memphis Depay had a lion, which seems like legitimately something Balotelli would do. And then, of course, there's Kurt Zuma. But the most interesting is Thomas Müller. He has horses, right? And what's so interesting about that, I hear you ask? In February of 2022, animal rights charity and full-time spunk trumpets PETA accused...
How are PETA spunk trumpets?
Have you not? Everything they do is bollocks. Everything, it's all lies. It's all nonsense, man. And I think they've also been accused of actively putting down dogs, which is something they're supposed to be against. They showed an image of a sheep that had what happens after shearing, and it was all bloody and all that kind of stuff. And the farmers were like, "We literally just cut the wool off it. That's it. Like, they're fine."
It's not in our best interest to injure them.
Exactly.
They don't get as good wool.
We make money off these things, you know? So I just hate them, man. I fucking hate them.
Fair enough.
But they accused Müller and his wife of making their horses perform unnatural sexual acts in order to harvest their sperm to sell.
What?
In short, Thomas Müller is a spunk baron. So there you go.
That's right.
He does. He sells.
I think that
he sells
came up
horse
before.
sperm. Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before.
It's fucking weird though.
What a side hustle, just wanking horses.
He's not even retired.
I know.
I don't know. I should make it clear. I don't know if we can say that he wanks horses. I don't know strictly what's involved in gathering.
You use
horse
some kind
semen.
of tool, some kind of horse fleshlight type situation.
I would imagine so. I don't imagine he just walks up.
But if you're hoarding it, you're wanking the horse.
Remember that, kids?
Yeah. If you're letting a horse shag your horns.
I just love that I get to say he's a spunk baron legitimately. It's great. Should we talk about some actual football stories rather than wanking off horses?
No.
Because obviously, like I said, we missed last week. Patrick had fallen down a well and I fell in trying to get him out.
Yep.
So we missed all the hubbub about Rodri saying that top level players might go on strike if the relentless amount of games keeps up. He obviously got injured at the weekend playing Arsenal. You're welcome, Premier League. And there was a lot of injuries last season. Newcastle were particularly badly hit, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
But it was like the highest amount of injuries recorded in ages and ages in the Premier League. So he does have a point, but a lot of the other people going against that are like, well, you are incredibly highly paid. You don't need to play in the Club World Cup or in the World Cup or in these international tournaments. You can choose not to.
Aye.
And also 90% of the other players who aren't involved in these top level tournaments aren't going to go and strike with you.
Aye, exactly. Like Southampton players
don't
play as many games as Man City players.
It doesn't affect 95 probably percent of professional footballers. Even if you just take from the top flight, it's not going to affect more than like 70%.
But these elite clubs that are in all these competitions, they rotate their squads anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, you're not going to be playing the Carabao Cup against Stockport, do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, this is the point. Like, City go out and buy whoever they want, Chelsea go out and buy whoever they want, so they can do that. So you've got to use your squad. That's just how the game works. Even if you look at mid to lower table Premier League teams in the early rounds of the Carabao Cup, they're not playing their top boys. So
Aye.
I think it's just, what do you think about it? Do you think he's got a point? Because I can kind of see both sides.
I think because he was playing for Spain, like there's some players where it's dead unique. So I think like the way his season worked, he only get like 6 days off because of the space between the Euros final and then Man City coming back for pre-season. So I think like he's the most extreme case, but like they get paid well enough, and like the market's there for like that many games of football. So do it.
And also, I think it's incumbent on the clubs, because for their pre-season tours, you could easily do them in your own country. Have pre-season or
flying
in
24 hours.
Europe, like somewhere nearby. Instead of going halfway across the world to do it.
Asia and Australia. And
I know that generates money, and that's essentially what all this is about. I do think it's a bit ridiculous that due to the World Cup, the Euros, the Club World Cup, all that kind of stuff now, like you'll only get a summer off once every 3 years or something like that if you're a real top level footballer. That is mental.
But you've only got like an 18-year career, so...
Yeah, and it's not like you're doing a full day's work, 5 days a week. And like we said,
a couple of keepy-uppies.
You're getting paid a lot. Turn up to a couple of, I imagine if anyone does a keepy-uppy during a Pep's training session,
just as a few keepy-uppies,
they get sent to train with the reserves. One touch and then you pass it, you fucking dick. Don't know why Pep sounds like that, but I can kind of see both sides. I do think it's ridiculous that the way that these tournaments are set up so that players don't get breaks, but at the same token, like, see, was it Gavi or Pedri when he first broke through? And he played at whatever the international tournament was that year. I think it was either World Cup or the Euros. But the season before or after, he'd played at the Olympics. He played basically every game for Barcelona, including their the Champions League, all their cup games, all their league games. And he was like 17 at the time, and he'd finished the season on like 75 games played or something like that. And you're like, I suppose it's, he's younger, he's fitter, but you're less.
Like Messi and Ronaldo did it for their entire careers.
Yeah.
Because like both of them stayed fit the whole careers pretty much.
Yeah, that is true.
Odd injury here and there, but
there are more games these days though. There are.
Aye, but not that much, man.
And obviously now the Champions League has been expanded. It's going to be a couple more
fixtures.
Possibly, but if you end up in the playoff spots, you're going to get more games in there as well, rather than getting automatically qualified.
No, true. Aye.
So
4 more games.
Aye.
It does stack up a wee bit.
Aye.
But like nobody's really come out to support them, have they? Like
other top flight footballers. So there was someone from Liverpool. I can't remember who it was, but it's basically it kind of boils down to all top level English people playing in the Premier League, not English players, but people playing in the Premier League that are like this. And there is a very big element of, I know it sounds bad to say, well, they get paid that much, they should be able to handle it, but you do get paid that much, and
you should be able to handle it.
But that's why you get paid that much. Like, it's not just because you're fucking talented. It's because you
sell tickets.
There's a risk to this. Like you might get injured, you might get hurt. That's part of the nature of it. I do. Maybe we should do something so that it's not fully mental like it is now. But
Maybe put a cap on like how many appearances a player can make a season.
yeah, put it in your contract.
Yeah.
How many appearances you're willing to make in a season, and if you get called up for international friendlies, just say no.
Aye.
But I know playing for your national team for a lot of people is the greatest honour that you can have. I think it's easier when you're not directly involved in football. The patriotism only goes to a certain level.
Aye.
Like, I'll support the national team, but I'm not like fucking tattoo. I've got a tattoo of a Scotland flag and storming the capital and ready to do whatever, like all that shit.
Storming the capital.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, you get some pure diehard patriots, and I'm just like, I like living here, and I like supporting Scotland national. Well, I don't like supporting
I'll
Scotland.
watch it if
I
it's
support the
convenient.
Scotland national team. I'll go and watch them. I'd happily travel to watch them if I had the time and the money. But I'm no like fucking.
Better take Tuesday night off for the Moldova game.
Yeah, exactly. There is one last piece of football news that we do need to talk about, and it's amazing that he was still playing. But yesterday, the day before, Barcelona and Spain legend Andres Iniesta announced his retirement at the age of 40.
Finally, man. Poor guy.
He played arguably one of the most pivotal roles in both the greatest national team, in my opinion, the greatest national team that there ever been, and the greatest clubs team there's ever been.
Aye.
I've got his list of trophies here, right? 9 La Liga titles. Bear in mind, this is against Real Madrid.
Aye, and this is like
Cristiano Ronaldo's Real Madrid.
Benzema, Bale.
6 Copa del Reys, 5 Spanish Cups, 4 Champions Leagues, 2 UEFA Super Cups, 3 Club World Cups, all with Barcelona. He won the J League, the Emperor's Cup, and the Super Cup. I mean, why Japan still has an emperor? Like, fucking.
I know, I was gonna
We
say
feel
that.
like today having a monarchy and they've got an emperor.
An emperor.
And he also obviously won 1 World Cup and 2 Euros with Spain. He was voted La Liga best midfielder 5 times. Was in the FIFA World 11 9 times. The UEFA Team of the Year 6 times. Confusingly harder to get in that than it is the World one.
Aye.
Plus a whole bunch of other individual awards that I can't read out, because if I did, we wouldn't have time.
Did
to
he
do
get
the
any
rest of
Ballon
the pod.
d'Ors?
No, he was finished third.
Aye.
He was playing at the same time as Ronaldo and Messi. Like,
Aye.
you're not going to get a Ballon d'Or in that time, you know.
What a player, man.
Aye. Any standout memories? The non-one thing for me is most of the brilliant games I remember him is because he's
Against
played
Celtic.
Celtic. Yeah.
So I've seen him in the flesh 3 times. Twice against Celtic at Celtic Park, and then once when I was in Barcelona, I watched a Barca-Valencia game. And can you remember the game where Barcelona beat us 1-0? Fabregas scored a header. He came off in like the 89th minute, and even though we were losing 1-0, he got a standing ovation at the whole stadium.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite nice. That was a big memory because he was outstanding in that game.
It's quite hard to peg him, because see, for a long time in that Barcelona team in the early days, like from 2000 and when would it have been, 2008 to 12 or 13, he kind of went a little bit under the radar in that team because people didn't really pay attention to him.
Aye.
He just did his job really well. But when you actually started to watch him properly, you're like, holy shit, this boy's amazing.
Aye.
He's like stylistically somewhere between Zidane and, I don't know, Xavi, like somewhere in the middle there, because he had...
Merrier dribbler than Xavi.
Aye.
But he still had the same range of passing.
Aye, and he wasn't a flashy player as well. Like,
No.
he would dribble past you, but he wouldn't do it through, like...
No steppers or
Aye.
anything.
He was just...
Scored the winner in the
Fantastic.
World Cup final as well.
I mean, Zidane did say that he reminds him of... Iniesta reminded him of himself, which, if you're a midfielder, that is about as good a compliment as you're going to get.
Just a toty version.
Aye. Imagine as like Doug Stanhope saying to you, "You remind me of me." You would die of joy in that moment, man. I think his career he can be best summed up by Juan Roman Riquelme saying the one who plays the game the best is Iniesta. He knows exactly when to go forward, when to drop back. He picks the right moment to do everything: when to dribble, when to speed things up, when to slow things down. I think it's the only thing that can't be taught or bought.
Yeah.
So well done, Iniesta. What a career!
Well done, Iniesta.
You're absolutely outstanding.
What a player.
Aye.
It's a shame seeing all these legends
go.
retire.
Yeah, I know. It's
Because like Messi and Ronaldo, they're like...
aye. I know
end.
it's daft, but I think I'll genuinely well up when Messi retires. It's going to hit me so much harder
Aye.
than like most other players. It's like when Larson left Celtic and you were just like,
Greeting.
aye, nah, I can't handle this. we'll skip the quiz till next week because
Do it?
mate, I've over prepared this to fuck.
Shows it then.
no, not the quiz. I mean the podcast.
All right.
So we'll keep that in next week because I think I could do better with it anyway. And we've got so much to talk about football wise, so we probably should get on with it. Man United fans were disappointed last week that we didn't talk about them, so we're going to start with you this week. Patrick, Man United are shit, aren't they?
Oh my god, man, so bad.
It was Agarty's first Premier League start. And
Was it? Was he there? I didn't even see him.
It doesn't look like he's going to be their saviour straight away. It had me thinking of that Simpsons gif, where Homer's on his side running around in a circle.
Yeah.
Mr. Burns just like, I don't think Agarty's the defensive genius we thought he was. Fucking hell, man. To be fair, the first goal United conceded wasn't his fault.
It was all the fault.
So this is, if you haven't seen it, United are on the counter-attack. Both the United wingers are out on the right, and Rashford takes far too big a touch, and Van de Ven gets it.
Yep.
At this point, he's halfway in his own half.
Yep.
And he manages to run
Get to the byline.
all the way to the byline, get across in and score. Now, we've talked about this before about how Man United's wingers don't track back. Neither of them moved at all. Like the entire way where he's going. I know he's fast, but you
Plus,
still need to
all
run
the
back.
tackles were like pure half-hearted.
Well, they didn't tackle him until he was in the box.
I bet
basically.
like even like in the midfield they were like just running and then just stop.
He's like
Somebody else will get him.
it's
It's a centre
like-
back. What's he going to do?
it's like how you described it when Scotland played Morocco in the '98 World Cup. Like, this is fucked. Like, there's all the Man U players just let him go whoomp and like, I'm never catching him. So I'm not. There's no bother. Like,
he's away. Somebody else will get him.
aye. And once he gets to the box, he's running at full speed. So all the defenders are like, if I touch him even slightly, he goes down and it's a penalty. So none of them bother. The only one that tried to block it was Delict try to block the cross. And this entire time, on the other side of the pitch, Johnson has been unmarked the full time. Like
Smiling. Just smiling. I think he was just smiling like as if like, holy shit, look at Big Mickey.
So when he first gets the ball, Johnson's on the wrong side of Dallo.
Yeah.
But they're going to counter-attack, so that's fine.
Dallo's
but the moment
walking.
that happens, Dallo should be getting back and getting in front of
Aye.
Johnson. In Dallo's defence, maybe he's just sick of being the only one that actually tries. He's like, okay, I'm going to show you what it's like for me. I'm
Aye.
going to do fuck
This
all
is
here.
my life every
and you
week
can
with
see
you,
what
cunt.
it's like for me. Fucking spa there. But, aye, so he doesn't try to get back. By the time Van de Ven gets to the byline, Johnson's in the middle, completely unmarked. No one has any idea where he is, and it's an easy finish for him. And we said
So
that
good.
Van de Ven's done this before. I can't remember. It was earlier in the season. He made a similar run. And we were just like, somebody half him. So, like, somebody just
Do you know what it
go
reminded
through
me
him.
of? Remember that period where Gareth Bale scored hundreds of like individual solo goals? Like he scored a couple against Inter, where he just ran in a straight line.
Yeah.
And nobody tackled him because he's so big and fast.
Aye.
Like, and once he gets to full speed and he's in the box, you can't touch him.
Yeah.
You've got to bring him down. It's got to be a penalty.
Aye, exactly. That it is very. So I was trying to think of other players like that when you were saying that. I was like Henri, but no, he was getting kicked the entire time. And he just kept going. But like, it is a great run by Van de Ven, and I don't want to take too much away from him. But the way people are talking about it is if, like, it was that Messi dribbling through Athletic Bilbao where he just takes everybody on.
Messi.
Nobody touched him. Nobody
Nah,
got
no.
near him. Like, it's a good run, but they made it fucking easy for him. And I just don't think he should be getting too much praise. It was a good idea. It worked, but fuck me, someone needs to just tackle him, man.
Man, you're pish.
They are. Very much so.
Do you think Ten Hag will get the sack?
Well, this is the thing, right? Because
Apparently it's going to cost him about 15 million to sack him.
they just signed a new contract at the start of the season. Like, I don't know what was going through his head. Bear in mind, they went out looking for other managers, spoke to other managers, public knowledge that they went and did that. And none of them wanted to join, so they're like, we'll stick with you.
Aye.
See, if your bird did that, you'd be like, I reckon I'm going to go. I don't this isn't my vibe. Like, I already had an inkling I wasn't your first choice, but now that you've cemented it, I think I'll shoot off,
You're nobody's first choice.
I'm fucking well aware of that, Bash.
You're my first choice, Pedro.
Oh, that's sweet. But yeah, so
Who are they
he's
going to
been
bring
there-
in though? Southgate?
He's been there for 2 seasons now, right? Just over 2 seasons. I still don't know what their style of play is, what they're trying to do, if he's got any players
Do they
on
press?
side.
Do they no press? Do
Yeah.
they drop off?
And like the entire time last season, he was like try to gaslight us into thinking they were actually good. After every game, he'd be like, "No, I actually think we did play well there. You just lost 3-0 to Brentford," and like it was, he just kept telling us that they actually played really, really, really
The worst
well.
thing that happened to Man United was winning the FA Cup.
Aye.
Like, genuinely.
I think City did that on purpose.
Like, fuck it.
Pep's turned his
Throw it.
wee Kevin Keegan looking cunt beside him and just gone, "Watch this, we'll lose this game and
Aye.
they'll go fucking mental."
They'll keep him on for 2 years. They'll be fucked.
Should really learn his assistant manager's name because he's
The wee
Kevin Keegan looking.
Tefes.
Because he's one of the most decorated like coaches in the world.
Aye.
I'm just like,
Is his Carlos Queiroz?
yeah. Well, I mean, is he not managing like the Qatari national team or something like that these days?
Taking that blood
Get your
money.
bag, son.
Get that blood money.
I'm trying to think of what else before we got onto that. Yeah, in fact, no, we'll stick with that just now with the Ten Hag thing. I don't. They might go for Southgate. But I think that would be stupid.
It'd be funny.
It would be funny.
Tommy Tuchel?
It's an option. I think he's a good
probably
manager.
their best bet, but he's a bit erratic.
I think he's a good manager. No, he's still at Germany, isn't he? Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
Well, they can't get Poch anymore because he's going to have a lovely time in America.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
It's only Tommy Tuchel and
Who's
Gareth
available?
Southgate.
Xavi, he's not working at the moment. Or just go get Klopp. Be funny.
Try.
Be some buzz.
Bring Mourinho back.
Mate, honestly, the job he did get the
Get
best.
Ole back until the end of the season.
Giggs, he's done some management work. And then the constant threat of him sleeping with your wives might get you to play with.
Yeah, exactly.
Gigs with John Terry as his assistant.
Oh, what an absolute double act of bastards that would be.
That's what you need, Man United. If in doubt, just go get Ragnick.
Yeah.
And then you can be reminded how hopeless football can actually be. Try to say, yeah. So with the way Man U play, it's very lethargic. None of them look like they care.
Nah.
And then they came up against a team who all they do is attack and run. Like,
yeah.
So it's all,
Like, even when like Spurs are shite,
Aye.
like, and they have had spells last season, started this season that well, they still fucking just press like fuck. And they don't stop.
they've got the German Maeda up front and Timo Werner.
Fair play to Werner. Like, I know he had missed big chances, but he does run his pan in.
Aye. And he gubbed Mazraoui a few times with little tricks. He's, again, great up until the final third.
Yeah.
But he seems to have it in his head that the way you win a football match is hitting it off the goalie.
Hitting it straight at the keeper.
Yeah,
Hit
exactly.
it straight at him. They won't be expecting that. Everybody else is trying to put it in the corners.
It's
I think,
pretty
see
wild.
if he does start scoring though, I think it'll be lethal.
Oh, aye. I mean, when he was at
Leipzig.
Leipzig the first time, he was an incredible
Phenomenal.
forward, like terrifying to
And
play against
Chelsea
as well.
round our striker.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you, Chelsea. I used to love Timo Werner. But aye, so they're coming up against a team who presses like shit, runs all game non-stop, or do actually have really good attacking footballers that can play some brilliant football. And they're coming up against a team that can't be arsed, don't move very much at all, don't track back. And it was just like the perfect storm for Tottenham to go and do this. It was almost inevitable that they were going to give them a bit of a doing in this game because the two styles it really suited Tottenham to play in this that way. And Man United just didn't have an answer for it at all. And Maddison and Kulusevski in particular, I thought, did really well.
Kulusevski's good, man.
Yeah, he's very good. Although he doesn't seem to play as much as you might like for like a guy his age. Like, because every now and then I'll see him do something, I'll be like, oh, this guy's brilliant. And then you won't hear his name for a very long period of time. I don't know if he gets injured a lot or if he just...
I think they just rotate their wingers, didn't they?
Oh, Solanke got a goal.
Signing of the season, mate.
Signing of the season. Yeah.
Scored a tap in.
He scored against Man United, Brentford, Coventry, and Karabag.
Yep.
£65 million.
Carrier bag.
Yeah, the carrier bag. Where are they from again?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, yeah. Aye.
I think it's one of the stands.
It's one of the, or it might be Azerbaijan.
I think it is actually.
It might be
I think you're
Azerbaijan.
actually right there.
Not that we group all them in together. Do you know what it kind of reminded me of? It's like a game, like a fives tournament when you were a kid, where one team's already knocked out, but their maws are making them play the game anyway, and the other team are already through. Like, so they're all just standing about like, oh, I can't
be fucked with this.
I want to go home and get a fucking ice cream.
McDonald's.
Aye, but they just it had very big "we don't want to be here" energy in that Man U team, and I get it was pushing it down, but you know.
Still, just pushing it down for Spurs as well.
Aye, but they were having a nice time. I don't know where Man United go from this. Like it was so easy from Spurs in the first half. Romero was already trying overhead kicks.
Aye, man, trying
Like-
scissor kicks like at 1-0.
Which is just mental. And then obviously Bruno Fernandes gets a red card. Thoughts on this?
Soft red card.
I just don't think you can give that as a red card at all. He
No.
slipped. He slipped. It wasn't.
And it was the
serious foul
sideys,
play.
but wasn't he studs?
Aye. I don't know how reviewing. I can get why the referee's seen it and gone, right, that's red. VAR should be like,
Go to the monitor and have
go to the
another
monitor and
look.
have a look at that. He slipped. I hate to say this. I agree with Bruno Fernandes.
Aye.
I don't think you can give that as a red card at all. I don't think it would have changed the game
Nah,
because Spurs were absolutely destroying them
before that.
before
aye.
the red card. Like the match day showed the stats to back that up, and yeah, they were all over them. But I just don't think it's a red card. But Bruno wasn't exactly pulling up trees in the game. He wasn't doing anything.
So bad.
I know,
It's funny.
because Man United fans still think he's like the best attacking midfielder in the world right now.
I think they should just sack him now. Don't wait until you get another decent result and then it's another few weeks.
Yeah,
because
they've made that mistake so many times.
Yeah, like they'll go to Wolves and get trashed 4-0 and it'll be
But again, it's the question of who do you bring in?
Southgate.
Brendan Rodgers.
Just for the patter. No, please no.
Honestly, I don't know who they'd go for. Fizzer, Phil Neville. He's got some experience.
Get Gash Neville out.
Do you know what? This is the only situation that I think I could say this, but from managing, Phil might be better. That's,
It's the only thing he'd be better at.
what was it he accidentally said when he was over as one of Gary's coaches in Spain, and he tried to say he went for a run on the beach, but he translated it poorly and said he was ejaculating on the beach or something like that.
Oh, really?
Aye.
That's hilarious. I was ejaculating on the beach.
It's like classic Fizzer. Oh yeah, it cut to Wayne Rooney during the game in the crowd.
Oh my God,
He
mate.
doesn't look well, does he?
Oh.
He looks like a fucking Toby jug. man.
It looks like a fat Gandalf.
Honestly, he looked like a man having a difficult shit whilst his wife bollocks him from the other side of the door. Like it was. He did.
He looks so. He aged so quickly.
Aye.
He's younger than me.
No, he's no.
He is.
Surely no.
100% sure.
What age is Wayne Rooney?
I'm sure he's younger than me.
There's a bunch of photos of him as well online. He's 38.
Yeah.
So he's 30.
When was he born?
October. So
I'm 6 months older than Wayne Rooney.
fucking hell.
He's-
No,
He looks like
no,
he's
no, 'cause he'll be
87.
39 in this October.
Oh, right, aye.
Aye.
So he's like 3 months older.
Maths. There's a couple of photos going around online that have been photoshopped of him looking
So
a
funny.
lot older than that. But the really bad thing for me is people believe that was him.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
He's giving divorce die energy.
Yeah,
It's
he
the fact
is.
he's sitting himself as well.
Like you could see him. No, he had his wee boy next to him, presumably his
But
wee
this
boy.
is behind him or empty.
He's got big resting a pint on top of a puggy energy about him. Like, you know,
Dishing out puggy advice. No, don't hold that.
he's managing Plymouth at the moment, I believe.
For how long?
Well, not for long, I don't think. United had a claim for a handball. What did you think of that?
Which one?
So it hit Romero's side and his arm.
Oh, yeah. No, like it took a quick deflection in his arm. Nah, it didn't move his arm.
It's natural possession. I don't think you can get that.
It wasn't a penalty.
But the United fans were just desperate for anything at that point in time. It's another game where United conceded 3 goals, and I don't think any were Onana's fault. He actually made some good saves in this game, kept out Brennan Johnson. Really, this could have been a lot worse for Man United, and he actually played all right as a keeper. So well done, Onana.
If Werner could finish, it would have been 5.
Yeah,
minimum.
Aye, and Madison forced the keeper out a couple of saves. Johnson at the post, as well as forcing Onana into a save. So really, you should be grateful it was only 3 now. Also, like, should we compliment Tottenham a bit more because we've just bashed Man United.
Tottenham were good. Like,
yeah.
But it's easy to play against Man U. So when you get too far ahead of
that's what I'd
about
say
how
as
good
well.
Tottenham are.
Especially because of the way the two teams play.
But it'll be something to kick on for, because they didn't have a great start to the season.
No.
But they're still picking up points. They'll still be like in the hunt for Europe.
Well, that's what the guy said at the start of the game. This is a mid-table clash. Mental.
And
But Man United are not mid-table anymore. So we'll move on from you. Don't worry. Sorry, Alison. Newcastle United versus Man City. Newcastle United, friends of football.
Yes.
Friends of football taking points off City. Didn't want all 3.
No.
That would be gauche.
That would be gauche.
Yeah, gentleman's one.
That would be gauche and unbecoming.
Yes, exactly. And that is foreign to the Geordie spirit. But, a nice point. I'm very happy.
Take any points you can against Man City, home or away. It was a typical City with Rodri. I was talking about this during the game. So one of the main reasons Rodri is so important is because he's the only one that will fucking shoot outside the box. How many goals has he scored for like the edge of the box, just outside the
Yeah, in clutch moments as well.
Like when City were on tap in Newcastle, just passing it sideways. And if you just go into that low block, pack the box, then they're not going to just shoot for range.
I think not having De Bruyne there was a big part of that as well, though, because he's the kind of guy that would cut that open. But that's what really impressed me about Newcastle throughout the game. When they were in Man City's half and pressing, the forward line was there and the midfielders were right behind them. So if they got a pass past the first line, the next team were there ready to bomb into it. And when they were defending, it was 2 banks of 4 right in front of the penalty box, very close together, so there's no space for City to try and play those wee passing balls. Obviously, if they had someone like De Bruyne, maybe they would have been able to break through it. And then you've got... It's the kind of game that you'd think, they missed David Silva, because that's exactly where he excelled. But Newcastle just did a really good job of like limiting their chances. Obviously, they did score, but I think with Rodri out, De Bruyne being unreliable injury-wise, that midfield was Gundogan, Kovacic and Rico Lewis, who are all ostensibly quite defensive-minded. Obviously, Gundogan had that season where he basically became an attacking midfielder.
He looks a lot older. I know it's only been a year. He was away, but he looks...
But he was in his 30s when he left already, you know. And they just lacked any creativity. But they need basically 2 of those players to do the work that Rodri does by himself.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're not a man down, but it's almost like they're a man down on what they normally are. Because that would having Rodri in there would free up one of those other players to be like Foden or Savinho or something like that. I thought Grealish played quite well.
Yep.
He looked dangerous.
Got an assist.
Yeah.
Although Guardiola did a lot of the work.
He did.
That was such a good goal, by the way.
He's a very, very good player. The finish did have a little bit of a deflection on it, but I don't think you could take too much away from
the footwork was class.
Yeah, to drop the defender down, it was...
Mate, Big Dan Burn did a job in Haaland.
I know. The only person that can look down on Haaland. He's just whispering to him about his missing finger, just going, do you want to know how I lost that? Just kept making up stories, like...
It's in your mouth.
That is not what I was going with that.
Left it in your mouth.
That's for you, Hen. You keep a hold of that.
Get to Haaland.
But that's what they had to do. They had to use the fullbacks to break forward because they just weren't getting any luck anywhere else. It was the only time I think Newcastle any Newcastle player switched off, and it was Jacob Murphy who just didn't track Vardy at all. And that's usually why he's in the team. That's why he's getting in over Barnes, is because of his work rate. And he just didn't track him at all. Not that I'm saying he'd have been able to stop Guardiola, but he would at least made it more difficult for him.
Newcastle are good for getting Man City a game, especially at home.
Yeah, I mean,
last season it lost to like a late winner
by Phil Babb.
Yeah, big Phil Babb.
Yeah, that was genuinely one of my games of the season. I think I wanted to make that game of the season. I enjoyed that much. I think I was down with my sisters when that game was on. We all watched it together. Maybe I enjoyed it just because I'd had a lot of pints. But it was a great game of football to watch. I know, and there was a bit of spice in this game as well.
Newcastle have got a wee bit of an edge to them. I like it, especially against the bigger teams with Arsenal as well. Like they always shithouse.
What did you make of the Grealish on Tonali thing?
Tonali
made the most of it.
Sold it too much, man.
I mean, he has elbowed him. But
I know, but he just went too far.
Yeah, see if he just like gone like that and dropped down a little bit, he might have got something from it. But the fact that he's gone flying like that, it does kind of make you think you're being a bit of a bell ender.
It's classic Italian.
Yeah, I mean, the City picked up a few cards like that. That's how they got carded. I think Grealish got one, Kovacic got one.
Yeah,
it all started to heat up a bit later on in the game. People are having a big discussion about whether Newcastle's penalty was a penalty or not. I'm assuming you think it's a penalty.
It's penalty.
Aye. I mean, I think Lineker summed up perfectly. If the keeper's coming out towards you, he's going at full pelt, you're going at full pelt. Any contact from him is enough to like genuinely take you off your feet.
Aye.
And he said you don't have a divine right to get out of the goalkeeper's way. So you're more.
If anything, you run into it.
You should run into it and get the fill.
Aye.
That's what you should do. But I think goalkeepers have this expectation that you'll just jump at the road, and they don't need to, and they got a penalty for it.
Yeah, it was definitely a penalty.
And Gordon put it away quite nicely. He seems very confident with penalties these days. He was talking about it after the match, saying that England put them through all this training.
Aye, because he took ages to hit it, which was freaking me out when I was watching it. I was like, fucking hurry up and just hit it, mate.
And like, you were in this game as well, like the whole time. It wasn't like Man City were just dominating the full time. Like, Longstaff had a chance. It was pretty, I would say, maybe not 50-50, but like 55-45, something like that, overall game. The shots, there wasn't that much difference between who had the more shots. And
Pope made an astonishing save for Bernardo Silva.
It's a good year for Pope. It's the best year he's had since 1096. It's the year of the First Crusade. No, he's made a lot of big saves, man. And he's looked really, really good. It's kind of put my claim of you should have signed Ramsdale the bin, hasn't it? But
just a wee bit.
He's been brilliant. He's been brilliant. And Newcastle, like we were saying, they seem to enjoy riling people up. I think that's got to be Jason Tyndall's input, though. I don't think it's wee Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe's too nice for that.
Bastard. You know, it's got to be Tyndall, because he genuinely does look a bit mental.
He is mental.
But no, I'm very grateful to Newcastle for taking the point off City, and I don't think City can complain about it. I just don't think they were good enough to win it. And
I don't think they'll be that fucked as well, because Newcastle away is one of the harder fixtures, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and
Newcastle away is very much the Hearts away of the English Premier League.
If you want to compare the team you support, your Hearts, that's up to you. Newcastle up to 7th now. Well, down to 7th. I think they were ahead of that. Only Villa, Chelsea, Arsenal, City, and Liverpool ahead of them. It's only 6 games in, but it's just roughly where you'd want to be.
I'd say points tally wise, but they're not playing well at all.
Aye,
like they get smashed at Fulham last week, and they had a good performance against Man City, but they've been getting all the line, but performances aren't really there yet.
Well, in fact, Fulham, I think, are the only other team that are. I think they're just above you as well. They might be in 6, but man, they're just having an incredible start to the season as well, which is insane. But I will move on to Arsenal-Leicester. Not going to lie, there was a moment or two in this where I thought, fuck, we're going to waste the gift that Newcastle have just given us.
Nothing worse than...
It didn't look like that from the start of the game, though. It looked like, this could be 4-0 by the end of the game.
This was one of Martinelli's 1 in 4 games where he shows up.
Yeah.
Like, he's the kind of player, like, whatever he tries, the first time he touches the ball, if it doesn't come off, just sub him. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he doesn't beat somebody, like, just take him off. He's not in the mood.
Yeah.
But he was in the mood.
Yeah, he was really good. Saka, again, I'm not going to stop singing his praises, because this... I said at the start of the season, if Arsenal win the league, he'll be player of the year.
Yeah.
And unless Cole Palmer keeps it up and doing what he's doing, because even if Arsenal do win the league and he has a full season like this, it will still be Cole Palmer. But Saka's been incredible. He's got 6 direct goal contributions in 6 games this season. But it's just the way he dribbles and moves. It's like he gets better every season. I'm delighted with the wee man.
Delighted with the wee man.
Martinelli, actually, he did make a couple of mistakes early on in the game where he had the chance to get the ball across to Saka.
Square
It was
it.
completely unmarked. And he does do that a bit too often, like we've said. But he got a goal, got an assist, so he's got to take that as a good
What do you think of
performance.
the Jamie Vardy foul in the build up to the first goal? I'm surprised they didn't look at it.
I think I could see it being given, but it would have been incredibly soft, because I think they've both got a bit of a hold of each other in that circumstance.
Aye.
And you've got enough time after that tackle's made to stop the goal getting scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if it happened on the edge of the box, I reckon it would have been pulled back. But because it's like the halfway line,
Nah, the other end of the pitch.
you should be able to stop that. And whether it's foul or not, it could be, but I don't think it was clear cut enough to go, right, okay, we ruled that goal out. VAR
Yeah.
needs to pull it back.
Aye.
It wasn't a clear and obvious error, I think is the way I put it. But I think Arsenal kind of playing these days, this season, a bit like Klopp's Liverpool. Because they aren't dominating possession, but they got very quick fullbacks that they use to their advantage. Timber was brilliant at doing that in this game.
Aye.
And they will just get in your face the entire time. They just press and hope you make a mistake and try and take advantage of it. Which used to be the thing, that used to be Arsenal's Achilles heel when teams would do that to them. Anytime people got in their faces, they always like...
Aye, they would crumble.
Aye. What is it? They used to say they don't like it up them.
They don't like it up them.
Aye. I mean, I don't either, but that's a side note.
Okay, Dan Bum. But I like, you can't, like, I know it's only one game they scored a last minute winner, but remember we were talking about Liverpool this time last season.
Yeah.
Went through a spell of scoring last minute winners. That'll catch up with you eventually. So
Yeah.
like,
I don't think...
I think it was just a bit of a mental game though.
It was, it was. But the moment that, what was it, 7 minutes went up on the board for stoppage time at the end of the game, it's Abby, she's a Spurs fan, but she was one of the people on TalkSport. She just went, they're going to score. Because they've just been peppering the goalkeeper like with shots the entire game. He had a brilliant game, by the way. Whoever was it, Hermanson, the Leicester keeper. He was outstanding. That could have been like 6-2.
Aye.
Like, but he made some really really big saves.
We need to talk about Justin's volley.
Yes, we do.
What a screamer, man!
I mean,
goal of the season contender straight away.
I think
Tackles.
it's unbelievable. I think it's the first time I've not seen one of Arsenal's wingers do their tracking back properly.
Yep.
Because he's got so much time. Like, you can literally see the balls coming across. You can literally see him set himself. It's still such a difficult shot to make. It's a brilliant goal in off the post. You can't hit it any better than that. But like, he's got so much time to go, right, okay, it's coming. Set up his body. He connected with it so well. And as a fullback as well, he like... It's very old school Arsenal to be 2-0 up and then to get pegged back by 2 goals by a fullback.
Aye.
One of them being like an insane...
A pure worldie.
Aye, like worldie goal. But obviously they managed to save it in the end. But no, that was outstanding. I don't know what the best goal for the weekend is, but that's definitely up there. Yeah, he's brilliant. I think he burst out of the scene a couple of years ago and was looking very promising, but I think he got a bad injury and was out for a little bit. But hopefully he can kick on with his career. I don't think he'll be scoring too many more of them, but that was brilliant.
Leicester are in trouble, man.
Yeah,
Points wise.
I had them staying up with Everton taking the last relegation place, but the two results over the weekend have swapped their positions about basically. So
Aye.
I don't know what to think of them because they've sold their key midfielder in Dewsbury Hall.
Yep.
Vardy's old now, and
Yeah, it's old.
he can't do what he used to do, and I don't know where their threat's coming from when they're playing. I mean, they've had some okay results. They drew against
Spurs.
aye, but it was the way Steve Cooper's also like he's decent, but I don't think this is a team set up for his style of football.
Yeah.
He very much suited what they had at Nottingham Forest. And what you're saying after the game about them being unlucky, you weren't unlucky, mate. It could have been like 6-2.
Keeper was man in a match and you could beat 4-2.
But that's the thing, like Arsenal won 4-2 and their goalie was definitely man of the match. Like
Yeah.
he was outstanding. But I would worry for Leicester. But I said this last season that I thought the three promoted teams would get relegated. I thought Everton would take one of their spots this season. I still think Everton are at risk of that. But it's really hard to see where the promoted teams are going to pick up points. It's going to be a real problem for them.
6 pointers all across the board.
Yeah. Trossard again.
Wee frog.
Guys.
Just leaping about.
He's what did he get 2 goals or was
Yep.
it? One might have been an own goal, but
I think the second one they did attribute to an own goal eventually.
aye. But I mean, you've got to be there to cause problems.
And Havertz scored a deflection.
The
ball just getting booted off him.
Hey, you got to be there. You got to be there. And he is always in the right place. You got to credit him with that.
I rate Havertz this season.
Aye, he looks
like
good.
him now.
He looks good. Seem to have rehabilitated him from Chelsea. So, like, I don't know if there's any other players we could do that for. That would be worth doing it. Maybe like
Sterling.
No, Sterling. We'll give him a bash. See how that turns out. I know Trossard again comes up with important goals in important games, and you wouldn't have said it was an important game, but when City drop points, you can't pass up the opportunity to draw level with them. Obviously, Liverpool are top of the league at the moment, but Arsenal and City, I think, are the only 2 teams still unbeaten.
Yep.
So hopefully they can keep that up. How long are we at, Paul? Just so.
52 minutes.
Right. Okay. Let's fire through a few more
Ping
things.
through the Chelsea game.
Chelsea. Cole Palmer's a good player.
Mate.
40
could have had
million,
6.
40 million potentially rising to 42.5, which if it does rise to 42.5 is literally half of what Man United paid for Anthony.
Yeah.
And he's
phenomenal.
arguably
man.
the best player in the league on
He's a
form right
moron,
now.
but he's phenomenal.
One of the dumbest players I've ever encountered. And it shows in his face as well.
He just looks godless.
He does. Like, see, I was starting to think if you were to chin him, like, you wouldn't be able to find it.
Yeah.
He just does it. He's chinless.
He's a chinless man. But what a player he is. What a player.
I do think Theo Walcott comparing it to Dennis Bergkamp was it's like
look,
easy,
fucking relax,
easy son. Like
They have you seen the thing where they were doing the graphics for like you score 1, you score 2, you score 3, and he's like, what if I score 4? And they're like, you can do 4 if you want. He's like,
you got to love the balls in that.
I know.
But again, it's because he doesn't. Somebody would say that again on an analysis of it. It's like he everything he does is reactive and instinctive, and that works really well for him. But it's because he doesn't think. It's like if you give him time to think, he might struggle with it. But
people used to
just
say the same thing 20 years ago about Wayne Rooney.
Yeah,
Like the exact same thing.
I know.
Like-
And when he got older, they had to do other jobs. He wasn't as good. To be fair, I think that's very unfair on Rooney because when he dropped deep and played in sort of more centre
Aye.
midfield, when they had like Ronaldo and Tevez and I can't remember who the other forward,
Van
but
Persie.
Berbatov and like he was able to do any role. I always said that about Rooney. You could put him in any position in the pitch, he'll give you at least a 6 out of 10.
Aye.
But no, with Palmer, man, like 4 goals.
Mate.
None of them really the same as any of the other ones
Aye.
as well. Like
And like there was one offside, and then there was
Aye,
one
he
where
hit the
could-
post.
Aye, and then there was one where somebody should have squared it to him, so he could have got 6 or 7
Aye, I know.
just in the first half.
How would he have done that? Just but yeah, like
Dan Burn with his 2.5 goals. 2 goals and assists.
Oh, poor Burn. I still don't know how he lost that finger. Need to ask him one day.
He worked in a sheet metal factory, obviously.
Yeah, that does add up. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, no, I can't sing Palmer's praises enough. It's the variety of goals he scores.
Aye.
I mean, that free kick. Yeah,
He's 10 out of 10 for penalties as well, which is class.
yeah.
Very much the modern day Ricky Lambert.
Oh, don't bring him up. I'm sure he's gone all conspiracy theories.
Has he?
It's either him or Grant Holt.
Same guy, innit?
Basically, aye. No, I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's gone all like vaccines are a scam or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And go fuck yourself if you
Aye.
believe that.
Some penalty taker though.
Some he was. But it must be a penalty taker thing because Letizia is like that as well, isn't he?
Oh, Letizia mental.
Aye, pure tin
His
foil hat.
Twitter is mental.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do a bit on that next week, actually. That's going to be my job for next week. I'm
What?
going to come in with Leticia's best tweets.
So what he's going to do is forget
No
about
doubt.
that. I'll do it. Send it to him and he'll present it as his own work.
I won't. I'll very much credit you for the work.
Yeah. Brighton. I mean, Chelsea almost committed suicide a few times in this game. Like,
Yep.
Sanchez is pish. Chelsea have 7 goalkeepers within the first team squad. Some are out on loan, but 7 goalkeepers. Kepa, Petrovic. I can't remember all their names,
Mendy?
but no, Mendy's gone. But
He went to
obviously,
Saudi, didn't he?
Sanchez, and then there's a couple of players that have got in from the youth academy and stuff like that. And apparently Sanchez is the best one they've got to choose from.
Dog shit, man.
He's terrible. Like was it their Brighton's first or second goal where he came out and flapped at it?
Yeah.
I think the defence have to take a bit of blame of that as well because Caicedo and
And then he played
Caldwell passing it round the back like that. It's like they had so many opportunities to clear that away.
See the second goal where like he played a horrible pass it like straight to Brightler. Did you see the slow mo of like his face? Like so like it's like a slow mo for like where he's passing it to and he's like passed it and then his face just goes fuck. Start sprinting his goal. So
Yes.
good. Watching his face change, just like relaxed.
Aye, he's just not very good. See when Brighton sold him to them to Chelsea and kept I can't remember who was is it Flecken that's them or is he
Flecking,
Brentford?
aye, he's Brentford.
And I can't remember who the keeper they kept him was. I was like, that's a bit of a strange decision because Sanchez is decent, and then he's got to Chelsea, and I was like, oh, I see what you've done there. Like that looks like a good bit of business now. Obviously, Palmer just took the game by the scruff of the neck and won it anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
had it sewn up by half time.
was it his first goal that Jackson set him up for?
Aye.
And the commentator said it was unselfish. I was like, no, he's fucked that up, and he's got himself into a position where he knows he can't score, so he just sets up
Yeah.
Palmer. He fumbles the ball.
It's a weird thing with Chelsea because, like, you know how they had the scraps or the penalties and stuff? It seems like they all fucking hate each other. It's like they don't, like, Jackson never celebrates when Palmer scores. Do you know what I mean? Like, it seems like they're just full of egos.
Aye, well, we did talk about that earlier in the season, or maybe tail end of last season. How all their players seem you're very young, very dribbly boys, you know.
Dribbly boys, that's right.
So they just want to show off how good they are rather than go for the benefit of the team. Maybe Maresca will change that because if he comes in with no ego, which he can't have an ego because he's not done it,
Yeah.
that'll maybe change them all up. What about Chelsea though? New manager picking up points. They're in 4th, I think, at the moment. They've still got a very soft underbelly.
I think they'll
and-
get a chance of getting into the Champions League,
Yeah,
which is where they need to be money-wise.
aye. I think. I mean, it depends how they play against big teams. They have lost to City already this season, but
But good entertainment value these days.
they are, yeah.
Said the 4 each last season as well, didn't they?
Yeah, I think all the big, like really big ones, draws they've been involved with for the past few seasons. Actually.
Aye.
But yeah, they're fun to watch, even from just a perspective.
Big Sanchez.
As for Brighton, suicidal play from them. The high line they kept
Oh my
playing.
God! Like,
Cole Palmer's offside goal.
yep.
They were all on the halfway
They
line.
should have conceded 6 in the first half.
You're like,
minimum.
they've got quick players. You're defending on the halfway line.
Yeah.
Therefore, they're all on
Nicholas
side.
Jackson, for all his flaws, he is rapid. Like,
Exactly. And they didn't change it. They didn't change it at all throughout the game. It's like Dunk is in his 30s. Adam Webster's not a quick man. You need to play further back than that.
and
Like,
Dunk's just an English Per Mertesacker.
I think that's. In fact,
That's
Per
national.
Mertesacker's a fucking World Cup winner. What I was about to say. So I like Dunk. I think if he went to like a higher level earlier in his career, he could have been a really solid Premier League centre back for like more time. But because he's a decent passer of the ball as well, Dunk. I think he's a decent player.
Speaking of time, I think that's us ran out of time.
It is. Is there anything else? Liverpool won 2-1.
Standard.
Wolves are in bother. Everton won, but you're still shit. That's I think that's all we got time for. So it's goodbye from Paddy.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from me. Stay fresh, cheese bags.